Hey guys, Chef Nick here with Cook Everything, and today I'm going to show you a few different ways to prep an onion. I'm going to show you some of the most common knife cuts used with onions, which is going to be a couple different types of dices. I'm going to show you how to cut a nice perfect julienne as well as a mince. Proper technique saves you a lot of time, a lot of stress, and it makes just being in the kitchen so much more enjoyable. Knife work is something that some of us really enjoy. Myself, I really like doing knife work. I think it's it's kind of zen for me. However, a lot of people dread peeling that potato or dicing that onion. So in this series of videos that I'm doing on knife work and vegetable prep and things like that, if you learn these techniques, it's going to make your prep time go by a lot faster. So without further ado, let's get into the kitchen and I'll show you what I'm talking about. First, you want to remove both ends of the onion, split it in half, and remove the skin. With the tip of your knife touching your cutting board and in a pulling back motion, slice your onion across. And in a slicing motion, come the opposite direction, push your knife blade through the onion, and there you have your nice medium dice. Okay, for a julienne, we're just going to take one of the halves and cut that in half to make a quarter. Remove the inner petals of the onion and then just kind of half the onion like that. You'll have about 3 or 4 petals for each piece. So with the tip of your knife leading in a slicing motion, just push your knife straight through the onion, guiding your blade with your middle finger. You could cut these however thick or thin you would like. Okay, for a small dice or a brunoise, we're just going to trim the end off, and in that same pulling back motion, we're just going to cut very thin strips and come back the other way, keeping the onion together with our left hand and our fingers tucked up under our knuckles. We're just going to push our knife straight through in that slicing motion. Just try to cut them as even as you can. Speed doesn't matter, just try to use proper technique. For the next method, we're going to cut the end off and cut the onion in half with the core still being intact. Remove the skin. And kind of in the same pulling back motion that we used earlier, we're going to slice this onion. But if you'll notice, the tip of my knife isn't touching the cutting board, and I'm just coming in front of the core there. If we cut through the core, the onion will fall apart, so try not to do that. You want to make 2 slices horizontally towards the core. Keep your hand above the knife so you don't slip. And in a slicing motion, just come back the opposite direction. And there you have a nice medium to small dice. So now we're going to cut a mince. This is the same exact motion as we just used, however we're trying to make our knife cuts as close together as possible. Remove anything that falls away from the onion during this process. We're going to make 3 horizontal cuts towards the core, and in a slicing motion as thinly as possible, come back through and chop your onion to a nice fine mince. You may use this knife cut if you're making something like fresh tomato sauce, or maybe you want a McDonald's style onion on your homemade cheeseburger, which isn't a bad idea. Nice and fine. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. I'd love to know what you think. Thank you for watching. I really hope you learned something, and I will see you next time.